Hello, hello, hello. How are you doing tonight? Hope you're doing well. I'm doing all right. It's Monday. We got a couple things we're going to be doing here in Dune Awakening. Got the coffee, so hopefully we'll stay awake. We're going to be checking on a base that we've been watching slowly die. Looks like there's some spice nearby. Audio sounds great, so let's put that over there. And we got to tear down the deep desert base, and we talk a little bit about that. But we were supposed to get a good snowstorm. That's why I said I wasn't going to be on Saturday. We were supposed to get 8 to 12 inches of snow. We did not. What we actually got was about 1.5 inches to 3 inches, depending on where you're at. However, it chose to put a bunch of ice on the ground first and then some ice on the ground afterwards. So I had a nice little 10-hour day in the plow truck. That was super fun. But that was my Saturday. I had to come home, get a nap because I was tired. I'm old, so I hurt myself, of course. But we got through it. But yeah, and here we are now. So let's not mess around. Let's go check on our base. So it is actually very close. The shield wall. This is where most of your high-end people bases are going to be. And just to let you know where we're headed. The one we're looking at is right around in this area. So, you know, we're not that far from it. We're just going to zoop around here. We don't need to go too far. But, yep. All right, so... So this base, I'd flown over a bunch of times. Shields were up, had pentashield, access. Pretty substantially sized base. But I flew over it a couple weeks ago and noticed that everything was down. So I dropped in, took a look. Quite a bit of stuff in there too. So it should be right around in here. Let's go ahead and marker that. Oop. All right. Let's see what we can find. Is it already gone? Might be. Shouldn't have gone. Should have had plenty of time. Interesting. We'll scout around a little bit, see what we could possibly see. Yeah, it was definitely not in the Odom. I think we might have missed our opportunity, folks. It would appear as though she is gone. I don't even see any residues or anything. Should be something left over. I was just here a couple days ago, and it was substantial structures. Coriolis couldn't have tore it down. It wasn't that one. I thought it was right around in here. Like right on this slope, right in this area. Let's get some height, see if we could find something. It was rather skeletal the last time we looked, but it was made out of plastone, so it should have had some survivability. Yeah, it was just south of, like southeast, so it should have been right around in here. We'll do a quick fly around just to make sure. So scavenging bases is it's not part of the game. I would call it like just kind of a little extra. You know, every now and then you're like, oh, look at this. If somebody quits playing and they get tired of the game and they don't want to do it anymore, then what they end up doing is they just walk away. And when they walk away, eventually their base will deteriorate. Now, the first thing that usually happens is their... oh, wait, is that it? No. The first thing that usually happens is the power is going to go out because the generators go down. And then when that happens, there's no shields. So any storms that roll through are going to start doing damage to the structure. And what will happen is... never noticed that before. That's somewhat dangerous. Not going near it because it'll fall as soon as I get over there. But anywho,
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
so yeah, every time a sandstorm comes through like this one, it tears up and does some damage. Not a whole lot though, so it will take quite a while before a base gets destroyed.
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm
Ooh,
is
this
approaching.
bad boy's moving quick, huh? Gotta find a place to hide. We are going to drop in right here, and hopefully we have time to do this kind of stuff. Wasn't prepared for all this nonsense. I remember the first time I came in this area, because there's quest steps. Holy cow, dude, I was so underpowered, and these guys just... they did some damage to me, man. Now it's not so bad. We'll take you, and... no, we don't need those. Oh, you had heavy darts on you. We like heavy darts. Where's this sandstorm? Oh.
Sector weather alert.
Yeah, man, it was right in here, so that base is gone. But okay, back to it. Yeah, your generators go down. It leaves your base open to the sandstorms. When they start coming through, things start getting destroyed. Which this is terrible because they had a large spice refinery. The picture from the thumbnail was from this base. They had 5 buggies that just crashed. They had at least one ornithopter in there. And tons and tons of storage containers. Now, in order to claim a base, you need to have their sub-beef needs to get destroyed, and then you can lay yours down, and anything within it automatically becomes yours. But in actuality, if a box breaks apart, then it'll drop its contents on the ground for a very short time. And when it does that, you can then lay claim to whatever they're just resources laying on the ground. So you don't have to wait for a base to become claimable before you can get some of the items out of it. And I figured they had tons of stuff because, like I said, they were a pretty advanced setup in there. Can't believe the thing destroyed itself already. I was just there a couple days ago. Makes me wonder if like somebody came in and just destroyed everything. Maybe they got there in time to store it, and if that's the case, kudos on them. The first set of stuff had been destroyed, like the outer walls and things like that. Very confused. Very confused. Hold on one second. We're going to do something, because I can go like this and go like that. Let's bring this up. because I took a picture. This was on the 27th. So this was 2 days ago. And this is what it looked like. So you can see that we had the exterior wall got broken. Here's, oh, there were 6. There were 6 buggies sitting here. Ornithopter in great shape. Back here you could see the large thing. And they had boxes everywhere. Tons of water. This took a lot, man. And then they had all these crates. And all of this stuff was perfect 2 days ago. I don't know how it could have been destroyed. Let's take a look and see if we can place where we're at. And maybe we can get to the scene of the crime, maybe. Because I thought it was right, like I said, somewhere around in this area. Flying around here looking for ridiculousness. Oh no, it should have been on the other, it's the exact opposite side. There's some sandflies, sandfly territory. I don't give 2 craps about sandflies, but being honest. Yeah, I think it was somewhere around in here, wasn't it? Ooh. Scraping the paint a little. That's alright. Worst things that could happen. Because I know they weren't there. I thought it was like right around in this area. Like right up here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's, this was our spot, wasn't it? I think that's the mountains in the background, isn't it? That close that off? It should be easy to see. Spent a lot of time trying to find the remains of a base. I know it wasn't in the Odam. Udum. There were some people that built some pretty substantial bases right along in this area, but they have long since gone. This guy was relatively new, but still hanging in there. Well, I guess we aren't going to be scoping a base anymore for potential scavenging because it appears as though it's completely gone. Reclaimed by the desert once again. 'Tis a shame. Well, it was resources we didn't have in the first place, so it's not like we're hurting not having them, but it would have been nice to find some free stuffs. I'm always up for free stuffs. Free stuffs is great. Oh, yeah, I think this is us. I can't see that in the background, but anyway. So it's all gone. So moving on. I don't think I've got very much. What do I have the shield wall? Yeah, I'm only 41% complete in the shield wall. I haven't gone around and done a lot of stuff. As you can see, I haven't even found a lot of the stuff. There's what, 3 camps? 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 camps that I've identified, so that only gets me not even halfway there. So they're all laying around in all these different places. Someday if we get a Landsrad task to hunt down some sandflies, we will come on up here and make a difference in the world. Why am I flying? I'm just wasting fuel. I did not get to play as much as I would have preferred this week, but that's okay. Wasn't a good week for us anyway out here. The base that I'm still running out here this time is the holiday base, so it's the one that looks like a giant Christmas present. And was just giving stuff away. Did have some people come up, which was cool. But, yes, confirm. So it's really not that functional. Once Christmas was over, we did put in a large ore refinery and a small chemical factory. No spice production whatsoever, so we were just doing that. There was one thing I did notice was we were in great shape as far as resources laying around. It's a shame we didn't really need a whole lot of plastanium, but is what it is. I have high hopes for next week. Really, I do. If we can get a deep desert map that has the standard testing station instead of the waves, the one where you just go in, you follow the predetermined path and off you go. That would be so much better. But we did build in the same spot. Like I said, looks like a giant present. And we should be full on water. So I can go ahead and tear those guys down right away. And in fact, we may be a little pressed to actually do something with the water we have. I bet we're full. And I know most of my little leader johns are completely full too. So we might have to go out on a run. Let's take a look. We got 251 plastanium ingots made. We have 527,000 in water. So we have a buttload of water. We can still make 314. That's going to be the strontium fiber that's the limiter on that. That'll take a good chunk of it away. First things first, we're going to go upstairs and we're going to tear down some water because I don't need them up here. And I wasn't out here often, so we should still have, we still got a good amount of filters in here. No particular order. Oh man, I'm gonna have to scroll down on each one of these. Okay, we're not doing that. We're putting them in the buggy and we'll do it all in one big shot. So take the filters out, any filters that I haven't used. Because like I said, I've got plenty of water. Oops, sorry. Plenty of water right now, and I'm not going to be able to do anything with them going forward. So what we're going to do is we're going to tear these down. Now, the issue here also is when we tear these guys down, what do we do with them? What do we do with the materials? Because we aren't going to be able to hold, probably won't even be able to hold one. So what we're going to do is, I'll show you little tricks here. We're going to, first off, get rid of that because that does us no good whatsoever. So we're just going to make ourselves, Oh, man. I wanted to make a medium box, but I can't. Apparently, I don't have any silicone. Oh, everything's in the Everything's in the carrier container, which is technically a vehicle, so it doesn't count. Okay, so we're going to go back to this, and I'm going to bust that right there. Kaboom. And we'll jump down here. I don't think I have a container in here, but I have this. So let's bring over you, and that should give us enough. Okay, so we can at least make a regular size storage container. If I wanted to be fancy, I could go with this one. We just need to grab 2 spice melange. Might as well do that. We'll be fancy, right? Let's just take all 5. And then we're going to go back up on the roof. Boop. And we're going to make a box, and we're going to stick it right here. When we destroy that, we'll get all our materials back, so it's not an issue. And then we're going to get close enough to the box where we can access it, but when we look away, we should be able to destroy this. And there you go. Now I filled up, so I wasn't able to get everything. So it's laying right here in the ground that I'm standing on. And I can just do real quick exchange. I think that was part of the roof, actually. So then we'll take this, we'll take that, we'll take that. There we go. So we're able to get all of them destroyed, and we don't really have to move anywhere. I'm going to bring you back because I need to make another roof thing. So we just keep doing this. So it's helpful. You can actually blow them all up if you really wanted to. I don't think we can get... Oh, we can. Look at that. That's great. There we go. So now they're all laying right there. Boop, boop. And we can just... Sorry. We're going to jump up and down for a while. We can take and put it in here. And you know what? We've probably gotten to the point where we can just do a quick deposit. There you go. So we do this, and that, and that, and that, and then we do this, and everything. There it is. Took a little while. Okay, so we got all that blown up, which is great. But I still need power, so I can't take those guys down. Now we're going to grab you, and if we look over and look down here through the hole, we should be able to place you inside. And then we can make a section of roof, and we're back on back where we were. It's a rooftop, put it right there. Don't even care that it doesn't match. It'll be fine. There's worse things. Okay, so that takes care of our water. So we're going to come over here. And I think you're off, aren't you? No, you're on. 1700, we're great. Let's just make all of them. And we will go back to our carrier, because here you can see this is where we've been putting all the plastanium that we've made. And almost at 2,000, what we just made. So hopefully we can get to 2,500. That would be super awesome. We are, unfortunately, not a whole lot here. We need some stravidium. So let's just go get just some pure stravidium. And this is just to, you know, use the water that we've made. I could grab some more titanium if I really wanted to, but I don't think we're going to need it. And if I do that, then of course, because I'm an idiot, I'm going to, you know, do that until I finally balance the damn thing out. And the bad part about that is, you know, I'm going to be constantly making more of this, more of that. Oh, now I need some more stravidium. Let me go get that. Oh, now I need more aluminum. Let me go get that. Oh, that's just garbage, man. There's one up there, and then there's one back here. I guess we'll hand mine this. Eee. Ah, been a while since we've done this. Terrible angle. Oh my lord. Whatever. Screw you. You can see it's been a while. I ain't even going after that one. There's better ways to do this. What's in this? Just those filters that we left. So we are going to cowboy ourselves off of this rock. Cowboy ourselves off of this rock as well. Bisha. And we're going to head up into this back area. There's tons of stravidium up there, so we'll be in great shape. And I'm just trying to get all the water gone. That's all I'm doing. I do like this F1, F2 switching they've done. It makes this process so much easier instead of having to bring that pinwheel up every single time. I mean, I know it crybabying, but got a little tedious. Wondering if these will be enough. We are currently sitting at what? So we got 550. Divide that by 3 because that's how many you need to make stravidium masses. So we got 150-ish. Might be enough. Because we also have to spend the water on making that, and then we'll see with the rest. Let's just head on back. I used to just cowboy right over these rocks over here. It puts me right down below my base, but I did that once, and when I hit the ground, the buggy went through the map and landed all the way down in the underside of the map. So I had to get Funcom's help in replacing my missing equipment. They wouldn't replace what was in the buggy, but I didn't care at that point. But they did at least replace the buggy, so kudos on that. It was also helpful the fact that I was live streaming when the buggy went through, so I was able to point to a moment in the video and be like, hey, if you here's a link, and if you go to this exact spot, you'll see where it goes down. I swear to God, everything's in the way this time. It's a shame I don't need fuel cells, because there's so many of them. Yeah. Run around with a rapier in my hand. Absolutely. Let's go over here first. And we will pull all that stravidium out of the buggy. And I'll tell you what, we're going to do something else too. We're going to pull these filters out because it's very simple for us to just come here and do that. It's like one of them didn't go where it wants. We'll let it go for now. We'll fix it, don't get me wrong, but we'll let it go for now. Okay, so let's make some stravidium. Take 100. Excuse you? What are you doing? You're fine, man. Make 183. That got rid of everything. Buddy, just lay down. But, yeah, 182, so we're down to that. Stravidium fibers aren't gonna use all that much of our water supplies, but this will. This uses 1,250 for each one. Let me let him out. Come on, you go talk to Mom about it. Talk to Mama, okay? All right, so we still got the cats in here. You see Pickle. Hey, buddy. Oh, Pickle had a horror story yesterday. He got locked in a room in the cold. Poor guy. For the whole night. By Mrs. Rabbit. She says it's his fault. Because he zipped in there when she wasn't looking. The other day, her cat got out in the screen room when I was taking Eli outside. And he hid behind some of the stuff in there. And I stayed with him till we got him out because I didn't want him to get cold. Because it's very cold out. It's below freezing. So I waited, standing there, freezing my butt off, trying to wrangle this cat up. And then my poor kitty. My poor kitty doesn't even get noticed. Okay. So we're going to, I don't want to sit here and click this button every time we get 10 of them, so. But I think we're being in great shape. I think this is going to be more than enough. We can do 100 here, 100, put the zeros on there, that's 125,000, so. And I know we got at least 100 strontium fiber being made, so we're in great shape. What we can do now is we can click on this, and we can go upstairs, start destroying a bunch of this internal stuff. Takes a lot of lights in this game for some reason. Everything is so dark. I don't have to tear these things out. When I destroy the entire base for the day, it'll, you know, get rid of everything. But I'll go ahead and put everything in this box now that I don't necessarily need, and we can move it to the carrier. I don't want to do that. We're going to put the filters. There they are. This is good because we'll have filters for next week. Like I said, I'm very hopeful that next week is going to be a much better setup than it was for this one. I don't mind working for things, but it takes me solo a half hour to get through that setup. When it's the lock you in and you've got to deal with waves of bad guys. And I got to be honest, man, it's just not worth it to me. It's going to take me 20 to 30 minutes to get through it. They didn't need to make it so that the reward was like 6 or 7 plastanium spice for a half hour's worth of work. He doesn't have to go outside, Loki. He's just crybabying. He didn't get to eat dinner with us. And by that I mean he didn't get any of the food we were eating because we don't share everything. We will give him some food. He's old. Let him live a happy life in the last couple of years. But he's Mrs. Rabbit's problem right now. I'm sure she's thrilled about that. I'll hear about it later. But that's okay. It's not like I haven't been in trouble before. Okay, so this box is done. So she must have heard me. She's using the force. So I'm just going to go ahead and break this one down, and it's good to go. We did well. We did well plastanium-wise. I want to check and see if any of these are empty, which they are. So let's go ahead and blow you up. And we'll check you. You've got water. You're empty. I'm safe to break these because... Oops, sorry. We don't have anything producing water for us. There's no destills. There's no units on the roof anymore. So... we can go ahead and break down any storage tanks that we aren't using right now. It's ridiculous because, you know, it's a video game and who cares, but I do feel bad about wasting the water. Wonder if we can get closer. How much is in you? Oh, okay, because it's down to 75. All right, that's cool. That's working out. That, and then we'll pick this up off the ground, and we're well on our way. So we just got one water tank. Got a few generator down there to blow up. Got a couple lights and stuff. Nothing too exciting. What I like to do when I tear down my base is I will come down here and I will just break out everything that's the lowest exterior wall. And when you blow all that up, everything above collapses. You want to make sure you're near a box when you do that, because if you're not, then you're going to have to run back and forth. So I usually would like to, like in this case, I would come over here and stand by this box and blow up everything, but make sure the last like one piece was in range and break it and go. I guess I can do this because we're not going to go after Spice tonight. I mean, I could, but I don't have the carry-all out here. So we will break this bad boy down. If we don't have tell you what, we're going to put this back on. I wish they'd retain the color schemes that you put on them, man, you know? Mala, right? Yep. Maybe we'll come out and we'll fill that bad boy up with spice before we call it a day out here in the deep desert. But we can definitely break Mr. Buggy apart. We don't need him, and then we can get rid of this actual whole hangar section. That'll be nice to clear up some space. If I really wanted to, I could just bring my carry-all out and carry this back, but I find it better to break it down, stick it in the big carrier crate for the carry-all to bring out next, like, you know, tomorrow. That just seems to work, for me at least, better. Because I'll bring both the buggy and the carry-all, the sandcrawler. I'll bring them both out at the same time. Oh, lost some graphics there. I'm looking over here, man. This torch ain't gonna last that much longer. I won't be able to break the buggy down. I don't know why you have to disassemble or detach that. There's nothing there. 169 out of 175, so we got close. Yeah, we'll go ahead and drop everything in here. I hate it when I do that. I do that all the time. There we go. So that's there. We'll go here, and I'm going to put this down. This is all the money from money I was giving away, but I didn't have enough people to give all of it away. So we ended up bringing some of it back. The problem with this is I've got to bring these things over one at a time, because if I don't, it's going to just distribute them amongst all the empty spaces I have. So this is the price that you pay for being stupid about things. And I wholeheartedly agree that I am. Could you do... That's good. And we're also going to just blankly bring this over, and that clears that box. So let's go ahead and get off of that tool. We might have to go back to Haga and get ourselves another torch, man. Torch. What am I talking about? This should be mixed things, so we can just dump this in here for now. I guess we could get rid of this one too if we really wanted to. Lots of fuel cells. That'll work. And this should just be a bunch of junk. I have fully integrated, I have fully moved myself to using large fuel cells. I used mediums for the longest time because it was a better volume weight. It was only like, it was 3 compared to the 5 for the large vehicle fuel cells. But man, these mediums don't do anything for carryalls and sand crawlers. So I'm just going to fully commit to making only the large cells and just carry, you know, the 5 around. Get you several refills, so it's kind of worth it. Honestly, it really doesn't make that much of a difference unless you were carrying a bunch of them. But, you know, the only reason I have 3 is because I'm trying to get rid of the mediums first, and I still have a large on me, so that's super fun. How we doing here? Should be able to make a good amount. 61, so let's see what that does. Boom. Oh, we're down to 25. Oh, we're going to do another one. Down to 24 too. So, yeah, we're pretty good. The only issue that we have here, though, is it's almost 2 hours worth of production. Which, it's 7:42 my time, which means it's going to be like 10 o'clock before I can walk away from this. And then I can tear the rest of the base down. That's poo-poo. Oh, excuse me. That's poo-poo. Not really a whole lot we can do. Except wait. But I'll tell you what we will do is we're going to drink some water so we don't die. And then we are going to make our way downtown, walking fast. Something about a sandwich. We're going to head back. We're going to grab our carryall. We might as well go grab some spice. Fill that bad boy up. Why not? I haven't looked to see if there's any spice blooms out there, but we're gonna see what we can do. I don't normally advise scouting out spice fields or anything like that with a carryall, but we don't have storage. We don't have a big enough hangar for a carryall to sit in, and we're also gonna have to tear up a bunch of walls. Because we don't have anything big enough to get that sand crawler out the door. It was for decoration. I didn't expect to actually be using it, so... Thank you. That took forever. Still back here, Pick. Pickle. Oh, you're such a good kitty. I don't know if you can hear that. So we'll come back here, and I guess I could have brought stuff with me, but since we got that big container now, it doesn't cause any problems. Boop. Boop. Was it me talking so loud? I wonder if you guys can hear that. I didn't realize the volume was up that much. Okay. Why is there anger down here? Who's choosing violence? The Mosquerite and the Sandfly having it out. You guys solved your problems? Good on you. Everybody's so angry around here tonight. Holy cow. Pretty bummed about that base just vanishing. The sub-thief was well protected and had actually taken 0 damage at all. And everything else 2 days ago was in good, perfect shape. The walls had just came down. We made it, but we haven't had use for it yet. But yep, we do have another scout ornithopter, and this one is equipped with rockets. We were being super ultra friendly this last time in the deep desert, but going forward, she's coming out with us just in case somebody gets a little out of hand. We're gonna start sheriffing things. I'm excited. Vehicle's out of range. It's like right in front of me. Oh my lord. Thank you. That was dumb. Oh, look at that. Always put your vehicles back with all the fuel they could ever need. That way when you hop in them like I'm doing on a whim, you feel good about it. I should put thrusters on this thing. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go back to the base. We're going to break out our sand crawler. And we're going to load them up and we're just going to head on out. See what we can find. Since we're going to be scouting with the carryall, we're definitely going to have to make sure we grabbed a bunch of fuel cells. Can't be running out of fuel. I do know this cycle the large spice fields were very close. There's actually 2 of them in F on opposite sides. So maybe we'll get a little crazy and oh, we're gonna drop ourselves out of the sky. Maybe we'll get a little nuts and bring a go hit a large spice field tonight. Boy, I hit that button just in time. Holy cow. Did you notice in this game how many people are hanging from things? There's a lot of there is a lot of people hanging from stuff. It's like constantly Halloween in this game. Hanging upside down, hanging, yeah. Trees, pieces of ships. Just hanging off of rocks. It's crazy. Here we go. Come on, man, get some air. You know, I'm doing 120 kilometers an hour. That just seems so slow, man. I spend too much time in my scout. I'm bringing my scout with me just in case bad things occur. I don't expect they will, but you never know. Alright, let's just drop you off right here. And like I said, we're going to run in. Probably just going to break this wall up so we can just back her straight out. We'll put the wall back on just so people can't sneak in and tear things up. But we definitely want to come in here. Go to this. Let's get some fuel cells. Those fuel cells that I just put in here, right? That should be more than enough. I'm actually going to put them in my backpack. Okay, so we got to go here. And once again, we're switching this. Could just permanently put these things on, but that would be too easy, wouldn't it? 6, demolish. There we go. More than enough room. Can I get in, please? Oh, that was that door. That scared the crap out of me. I don't know what the hell that's making that sound. Boop. Alright, so let's just, we will build some walls. Same walls that were here. Always the opposite of what I need. Every single time. 3, 6, 4, and boom. There we go. Wouldn't even notice. Wouldn't even... I'm going to drop a mine right there in case somebody gets a little squirrely. Hey, you know what? We'll detonate it. Sometimes it's hard to determine whether or not I'm seeing spice bloom wind or if it's that coming Coriolis storm or if it's my wings. Okay, let's do this. We are going to head to F9. So F9's right about in here to right there. So we're going to start, we're going to see what's going on up there. That should be, wow, it's pointing right at it. Expert. 13 kilometers, that's pretty far. If we don't see any kind of mediums along the way, we'll keep going. I've seen no chat, which means either people are not here or they're being quiet tonight. I know that within my own little section back there on the shield wall, there was only one other base. I don't know whose it is. They build there all the time. I should go talk to them. Oh. Gotta keep our eye out for some bases being here on these rocky outcroppings just before we get to PvP sections. Sometimes you'll see people that'll build some bases here. There's like a mid-row with all these rocks. And then you'll see some of these rocks out here. People may have a base built. I used to do that. I used to put it out in the rocks around here. But to be honest, once they moved the resources into A, it's better to just use a buggy up there and get them. So we don't build out in the sand anymore. It also was a little difficult. I tried many different designs, many different places, and it was hard to get just a single stable thing, and crazy stuff happened. I remember I had a yeet base one time because every time I'd get out of the ornithopter in a hangar, it would just yeet me and the bird out. I'd fall all the way in the ground. I had it built up on top of one of those spires, so I had to fall all the way to the ground and wait till the ornithopter crashed down beside me, get back in, try again. I had a yeet base. That was fun times. It wasn't. So I had a worm sign warning, which is interesting. When you're out here doing whatever, just out in the desert and all that, the worms don't breach for no reason. So it's one of two things. Either there's some people causing trouble by making noise and getting their attention, or, oh, look at that, or it can be crash ships that are getting ate up that no one pulled from. So just because you see worm sign doesn't mean there are people about, but it definitely is something to think over. I'm pretty sure we're going to cross into PvP zone in order for this bloom, which is a medium. We should be transitioning into PvP zone shortly. Where are we? We're in Sector D, so no, we still got... Okay, now we hit E. Yeah, that's definitely more than a kilometer away. So that'll be a medium spice field in the PvP zone. Not entirely sure if we're willing to risk that or not. Although it'll be incredibly close to the zone mark. These rocks up here should be the edge. Okay, so yeah, we're hitting it right now. That shield on your base, advanced sub-peep, was disabled. That just means a sandstorm is behind us. We might actually be able to see it. Nope. So we got a sandstorm that just went through and it shut down our base shield. It's not a big deal. There's worse things that have happened. Let's get some more height. I think, is this the large... This would be the large field right here in front of us. Looks like she's kind of empty, though. But yep, there's the F9 one. The other one that's close to the border is in, believe it or not, F1, which is all the way on the other side of the map. We are on the extreme right when you're looking down at the map. It's on the extreme left, so not really worth the trip. I have the fuel, but it honestly would be better if the bloom cloud would go away. Wouldn't mind seeing that dissipate. Just because you see that from like 3-4 kilometers away. Starts bringing attention, which we don't need. I haven't seen anybody. There's nobody in chat. This field is unoccupied so far. The other thing I don't like about the active plume is you got to get right up in here to see if there's somebody actually in this. You know what I mean? Like you're about to notice. Like here, we come in here, and now I can actually see the field. So if there was somebody, well, I could barely see the field. Good Lord, come on. If there was somebody who was collecting stuff, this is where I could see them down there harvesting and doing their thing. The other issue is, if you watch my content, whenever I go after Spice, you know I like to be super awesome, vigilant, and keep my eyes open for bad guys. And in the midst of that cloud, you don't see things as clearly as you need to. So somebody could come down out of the sky and mess with you, and you'd have no idea they were coming, or you wouldn't even know they were there. So, since we have 2 hours before that machine gets done, before our processors are done, I'm content to just sit here for a little bit, and we'll wait for the bloom cloud to go away. Part of the video that's coming out about solo running out here, one of the things I bring up is that you need to always be smart and always be aware, and that's how you stay safe. And this is a perfect example of that. I could go in there and be like, oh, I want to get this spice before I... Or I can just sit back and wait and keep my eyes on the sky and look around. And once this thing goes away, then, like I said, it's not going to be a flare for everybody to see. And I've got a better chance of being left alone, as well as I can see. And that'll help the nerves a little bit, you know. So I don't want to stand here and stare at this thing. I can just keep an eye on it every so often. I don't actually know how long that goes off. It doesn't matter because I don't know how long it's been there. Look at that, man. We just used 1.5 medium fuel cells. So I'm looking around, but I want to try to keep my nose pointed south. So if we do have to get out of here, straight on till morning. We can keep ourselves hovered and look around this way if we really wanted to. Come on, man. Usually in the deep desert on a Monday night, people are out here breaking their bases down and going away. I think she did it. Nope. So we're just looking around, and we're also keeping an eye out this way because people can come from that direction. I like to stay low. We're about 400 off the ground. That keeps me away from worms, but also one of the better things to do if somebody does attack you in the air is to go up, start going up. It's hard for them to point up and shoot. They can still do it, but it makes it harder. So, you know, anything you can do to make your opponent's job of trying to kill you harder, the better off you're going to be. See, it looks like it. You're like, ah, cool, it's finally dissipating. And then more power, but Might be going away. It's a dumb thing to say. Eventually, of course, it's going to go away. I mean, it doesn't do this forever, but... At least we can see better now, huh? Let's back away. Yay! All right, so there we go. She has finally dissipated. There's no more flare in the sky telling everybody come over. So we can technically be alone. Or at least it's stacked in our advantage to be alone. And now we will start with the grabbing. Okay, so this is kind of a poopy setup, man. On the hillsides. Kind of like it better when it's a little more flat, but I don't get to pick things like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick a direction, and I'm going to try to take this thing in quarters to thirds. And I'd also like to lessen the amount of time when I make a straight run, so that you know, I don't want to deal with worms. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to set down right on this outside edge, and we'll go up to about the middle, and then we'll do our back turn. It's actually kind of nice. It's kind of an indiscriminate looking little slot. That should be fine. Don't you bounce. Thank you. You're most weak. You're susceptible to being killed when you're not in a vehicle. Being in a vehicle is always your safest place. So I saw a thing where a person said if you can keep your speed to about 11 or so, you'll get the super awesome efficiency. You know, you don't have to back up so many times, but I don't know. Try not to change direction too much, like left or right, so I can just sit here and look that direction while I'm tapping the C and I'm still going over the spot that I just came from. And we should have a nice clear path. We do. All right, we're going to go after a second one, which is a little ballsy, but we're feeling saucy tonight. Always make sure you overlap a little bit. That's so you're ensured to get a nice clean field when you're done. We're not savages. Keeping an eye on worm sign in the skies. Okay, see, that's a ship, but that's one of the video game ships. But it did give me a little bit of heart palpitations there. So I've got no worm sign right now, which is awesome. And you could be tempted to just keep going and be like, dude, just keep going because the worm's not even coming. But one thing that I love doing in this game is I love not being at the whim of the game mechanics. So what I'm going to do, I just did 2 full swipes, which is awesome. And now we're going to come over here and we're going to pick this carrier up. And I'm going to go up in the air for a while. I'm going to go high enough to make that worm gauge disappear. And now we're just going to look around. This gets me some time to kind of reset. take a nice deep breath. Hooray, I've got some spice. Lets the worms calm down so I can go back down and start from scratch without having to do it. And I can check the skies and see, look around, see if maybe there's somebody hanging out or... No, looks like we're clear. So now I'm going to come down and I'm going to go towards the middle. I want to, basically, if somebody else comes, I'll probably leave. So every swipe I do, I want to be getting the most amount of spice that I can. So that's what I'll do. I used to do this, and sometimes I still do. Like I said, I'll do it in quarters, where you know, I'll take a quarter of it. I only go halfway up, back and forth. In this case, we're just doing full length swipes. Although that is a huge amount of distance to cover. Just a tad bit scary. We're going to do a quick check around before we drop our carrier. Looks good. Or the crawler, you know what I mean. Get her a little close. I don't like staying in this window because you can't see nothing. And we're going to drop this big girl right there. Round 2. How we sitting? Not a whole lot of spice, though. There isn't going to be, because it's a medium field, but it'll be alright. So we're going to get our line, and we're going to check around. Trying not to turn, but I did make one little adjustment, like right around in here. So I'm just going to keep her straight on the back plow here. But life is looking good. While we have time, so I don't have to worry about it, I'm going to go ahead and refuel. And we'll do another swipe. So if I saw somebody coming, some bad guy, I would immediately hit C, which would pull up the harvester vacuum. The reason I do that is because that puts us into basically second gear in this thing. She's very slow when we're down collecting stuff. And I'm going to get as close to the carrier as I can. When I transition from the crawler to the carrier in order to get away or whatever, you can cover more distance, safer, inside the carrier or the crawler than you can on foot. So you want to basically get right up next to it, hit this button, and then I can almost immediately be in here. So it limits the amount of time. Plus, when that's occurring, I'm also underneath the carrier. So it's very unlikely that somebody could get a shot. They're going to hit the carrier instead of hitting me. Just a way to keep myself a little safe. Okay, we got no more worm sign. We just did 2 more swipes, which was good. Those should have been great ones. And we'll look around. I'm not real thrilled about this section here, the one that's in screen right now, just because of the angle. Although the physics of vehicles in this game don't quite follow the way they would or should, but silly things have happened before. And for these swipes, I'm not going to go past this little ridge right here. I'll just go right up to it and then back. I think we're going to do 2 here, and we'll do 2 more on this side, and then the other ones will clean up. Pretty much as a whole, we should have plenty of time to do it. Let's take a look around. Oh, no bad guys that I can see. This used to be so much worse because the distance that you saw bad guys or opponents was so small. Ugh. Boop. Oh, we're getting a little crazy there. Come on now. I did hit it. I didn't know if I hit it or not. I was too busy being safe. We took a hard angle going into this, so we're just gonna go straight back. Not worry about the excess. Oh boy, we're gonna go. We're gonna push it. Probably should have thought better than that. I didn't see it from the air. I thought it was pretty much the end, or might have been a second ridge. Hell, I don't even know anymore. This is why I said it wasn't the best setup for a spice field. Just because there's a lot of terrain differences. I am using the dampened tracks that I got through the Landsrad and the Regis cylinder, so I can get a whole lot of extra spice, and I'm extra quiet when doing it. But I have done this with just a stock one. Almost got a full batch. So I'm going to just go right into the next one. I'll tell you what, we'll go up high enough to make that go away. We'll do a quick scan of the sky. Everything looks good. We're going to go right back into this. We're going to play a little more daring, you know. Spending way too much time in this menu. Can't see anything while we're... I want to come do dueling at the dojo. Hash browns is on. Wonder who he's talking to. Don't spend... okay, so I'm a hockey fan, and they have a term in hockey that's called when you get caught admiring your pass. And it's when a guy passes the puck to somebody, and by the rules, you're still a legitimate target after you pass the puck for just a couple steps. And people will pass the puck, and then they'll be like, oh yeah, look at that. That pass is perfect. And then they just get sideswiped by somebody and just railed into oblivion. Know the rules. Pay attention. Like right now, I don't need to be staring at the ground. The ground's not going to change. So get your line, start driving forward, and then you should be looking at the sky. Don't need to be looking at the dirt. Here's my line. There we are. I'm not going to cross this hill for these little pieces, but we'll clean all this up, and then we'll move on. Do I break my own rules? Sometimes. The storm does hit soon, Fuzzy, but that's in like 7 or 8 hours, so we still have plenty of time to get a little bit of operations in. And like I said earlier, sometimes this is the best time because other people will have called it a week, and they'll be gone. Alright, so while we're towing this up, we're going to get up in the air. I'll probably take care of that little bit right there. and then we'll move on to getting this one. Sun comes up, we'll see if we're doing a good job or not. I don't like to leave any. Just, you know, if you're going to do it efficiently and do it nicely. This also causes a bit of a problem because I like to drop the carrier and the crawler and then go to the left. And that way it's just so much easier jumping back and forth between the two. But that means I got to start on the weak side of this remaining spice sand. But you know what? We do what we have to. See anybody? This is about as far away as I ever want to be between these two machines. The whole purpose is so that if we do get a breach and there is worm sign, I want it to be as many advantages as possible on my side of the fence. Examples, I want to be as close between the carrier and the crawler so that I don't have to cover a whole lot of distance and can just immediately get in, get up in the air, and be gone. It is kind of scary when you get a worm breach, especially if you get one that's one of them really super close ones. But you do have, honestly, a decent amount of time between the breach and when your stuff's going to get eaten. You don't think you do, but you usually do. So by minimizing the distance, I'm able to make sure that I can get into the carrier, hook up, and get off the ground much, much faster. I don't want any kind of stress. I get out and go airborne often just to kind of reset the worm sign. So, you know, I would rather not see a worm at all if I end up going up in the air multiple times and it takes a little longer than the stress of the situation. And also, I mean, I don't want to say it, but it deserves to be said. Things can be glitchy. There's times where I'll jump out of that the crawler and I'm inside it, like part of the game, you know. And when that happens, you start freaking out. You start being like, "Oh crap!" And super horrible things happen. So by jumping out often, look at this. We've gotten, what do you think, 75% of this field done? Haven't even seen a worm yet. We've done almost all of it. Looks like this we missed, but that's probably from either the bumping or those minor changes that we did. We got rid of worm sign. Don't see anybody. And there we go. So yeah, Fuzzy again. For my time, I've got I got like 10 hours before the storm hits. So there's plenty of time. You just don't want to have a base still up and operational. Oh boy, we were way up in the air when that one, whoa, took our head off. See? Like that. We're getting caught up in things. It's no goods. There's that. Let's take a look around. Let's drink some water before we die. How we doing? One row. That's it. Thought we could do better from medium fields. I don't have, pretty sure that there are skills that let you get way more, like, just like doing the hand gathering. You can increase your efficiency and your output. There are ones that you can do that with the vehicle harvesting too. I don't think I have it set up that way because I just assumed I wouldn't be doing that much harvesting. It's funny. Somebody just went out the back door at my house because this room is right above that, and I could feel the door shut because it's very well sealed. So it hits, and that happened. Scared the crap out of me. I thought a worm was coming. People are, sometimes I think my family's trying to kill me, but they aren't brave enough to do it. You know, they want to make it look like natural causes or an accident or something. Worm sign is still very low. I'm going to go ahead and push a third run on this. We're not doing the full length of the field, so we should be able to do a third one without getting ourselves in trouble. Which is exactly what a guy says right before he gets himself in trouble. Yeah, we weren't doing full swaths, so we kind of got lucky in that aspect. Times I'll hear like wind sounds and I'll be like, "Ugh, what is that? Is that the wind or is that wings?" One thing also kind of help key in on stuff. Right now, I'm actually checking the sky because your shadows sometimes are easier to see than an actual aircraft. So you always have a shadow no matter what. And sometimes that'll help key you in on something as well. If you can look up, that's great. But if not, the shadows will give it away. I think I've only got maybe 1 or 2 more swipes on this before we are done with this field. Hey, what's up, bird? Well, that's a lot longer than I thought it was. Hopefully it doesn't fly when it tries to land. They don't like landing on angles. Oh, I hurt myself. And now I ran across my own wings, which means that's going to happen. Okay, so everything's wrong here. As you can see, we're just trying to get a worm to come. All because we ran across our wings. Never run across your wings. You will 100% get glitchy, stupid stuff happening. And the whole time you're incapable of doing anything except bouncing, that's worm sign. The worm's here in every second of that. It's kind of BS. It's like I can't control it. Why are you penalizing me for it? Why did you turn off? Okay. Skies still look clear. Sometimes
This is why I said it wasn't the best.
Oh my gosh.
Spice.
That's me. Ew. Alright, we're going to do one last swipe and we're going to call it. Probably technically 2 that we could do, but this is a very, very thorough job. We did well. We can be proud of our work here. Now, I could get out right now, but like I said, the closer to your carrier, the better. So we're going to actually get real close. It's awesome right there. Good enough. What am I doing? Okay. Oh, before we do that, though. There's 10, 15, almost 20. Not bad. Do, boop, boop. And we are off. So, that's a spice bloom right there. That's also northwest, so that's taking us even farther into PvP zone. We were completely left alone here. No one came. We didn't have anything to do except work peacefully and quietly. I don't know if I want to continue going into the PvP zone. Like I said, we're doing this because we have time. So I don't think I want to go up that far. So we're going to actually, our base is just a little bit less than south. So we're going to head southwest and see if we come across anything else. And we're just going to kind of flirt with the PvP, PvE line. Let's get some height. Not too much, though. That should do. Now, I don't like these. Down here in the bottom corner there, you'll see that ship. I hate ships in the deep desert. Because you don't know if the worm is coming for that or if it's coming for you. And if I see one of those plus a spice field right next to it, I will wait until the worm claims that ship before I go down and go for spice. Just to be safe. Safe is important. So we're just going to kind of scan a little bit. We're not moving fast at all. Might be the only one that we can hit. I feel like we should have been close enough. Like, we did see it. I feel like we should have been close enough to have seen that explosion from where we were. So I don't know how old or how long that's been there. I am thinking about it. I'm probably going to say no, though. I will do medium fields all day long with a crawler because you get about 20,000 spice sands. Not bad. I don't hit smalls unless I am on my way back. Like, let's say right now I'm like, screw it, let's just go back. We got other things to do. If I come across a small field, you know what? If I've got space in it and it's on the way, I'll probably drop down and grab it. It's silly. It only takes a couple swipes and you're gone. But I'll hit a small one if it's en route to me heading back and I have a little bit of extra space. I usually do because personally I don't like... If you look right now, you'll see my carry-all sitting there, and then the crawler underneath it's got that big green ring. People from the outside can see that. So that just means I have spice in it. But if it's completely full, that thing starts flashing red, which is a kick me sign, you know? Like, you're just telling people, dude, take me out of the sky because this is a full sand crawler. That's going to be awesome for you if you do it. So I don't like to completely fill up. I'll usually be 500 to 2,500, one full block empty. So if I'm flying back and I hit the PvP zone change like this, and I come across a small field, sure, I'll just throw another 500 in it. I'm safe now, so I don't have to worry about getting jumped. And it's no big deal. If I see a medium, I'll hit that as well. But so I'll hit smalls on the way home if I have space. But otherwise, like on my way out, no, I wouldn't do that. It doesn't take long though. If we can find a small one here, I'll hit that sucker. It takes no time with a sand crawler. And you can get it in a single shot. You don't have to worry about going up in the air and coming back down. All that kind of nonsense. Not seeing anything in this area, though. You're out of range of that bloom. Already back in D sector. I'm not even seeing smalls. Is that one? I think that might be one right there. So we're going to go check that out. It's kind of heading back home anyway. Sometimes when you're, depending on which way you're looking at it, it can be hard. That looks to me like a spice field, but it might also just be a shadow. It's looking even more like spice. And he will know your ways as if born to them. So like I said, I've got plenty of room in the carryall. I'm not really in the crawler. Sorry, I'm not really doing anything else. So sure, we'll hit a small. It's on the way home. We're going to drop you right here. A little too close. That should be good. We'll come over here. And we want to make sure that we aren't actually in the field because, like I said, it doesn't take long. I think it's going to slide for a while, so that's just wonderful. And here you can see. Great. So I wonder why that worm breached. I wonder if he's going after a ship or what. I'm not showing any worm sign activity, so we're going to keep doing what we do. I would, like I said, assume there's a ship. Oh, I wonder if he's going after that ship we saw. Nope, he's eating a ship over there. I don't think that's the one that we were looking at. But as long as he stays over there and does his thing, because we're almost done here. In fact, we pretty much are. Do a quick swipe right there to get that last little bit. And we're gone. So it's just like 500, but like I said, I'm on the way. You know, hey, do not do that. We hit buttons, we get in. I think it'd be nice if there was a way in the carryall that you could see how much you have in the in your sand crawler. If somehow attaching that cable kind of synced the vehicles together, if you know what I mean. Not required, but if somebody gave me a wish list that would be kind of laid on it, I would put it on there, but that'd be way down. High altitude, sorry. Oh my gosh, look how high we are. What are we doing? Not paying attention. So we hit that PBE zone and we're getting sloppy, guys. Sorry. So we got ourselves a medium and a small field. Didn't really plan on doing Spice this week, so this is all just bonus material. And what we're going to do is we're going to head back to Hager right now with the carryall and the crawler setup that we have. We're going to take the crawler back. We'll leave it at the base, and then we're going to come back in the carrier so that we can get ready to start taking this base down. That container they made was a godsend. Holy cow. That was so awesome. I will put a post up tomorrow morning once I get up and the storm is done and the deep desert's reset, and we'll see what kind of testing stations we have, and if they're good ones, we'll set up to make it happen. We'll probably go with our standard do anything deep desert base. I mean, that's the one that we kind of use all the time, but if we were just coming out specifically for, let's say, just plastanium, then we wouldn't need to have the large machines. And we wouldn't even bring the sand crawler out. I'm hoping, looking at the weather, everything looks clear. We got a holiday coming up. So I'm thinking that we're going to actually be able to get a decent week out here in the deep desert. So I'm thinking. Not guaranteed. I think we're still going to have some time, though, because we had 2 hours. I think it's only been an hour, and we still have a little bit more to make. But it should be all right. That little side hangar that we made on the holiday base is definitely not catered to this kind of a size craft, but it'll be okay. As long as you get the bulk of it in there, it should be protected. Ah, 120 kilometers, man. Woofa. This kind of reminds me of the old days before I had all the bigger equipment. I used to come out here in a Scout, a Mark V Scout, and I would go all the way out to the islands that had like the Stravidium or Titanium Islands. So out in the PvP section, I would go all the way out there, and with the Taro cutter ray, which was capable of you could make that with duraluminum, but it was capable of cutting through titanium and stravidium, but it only gets you like 32. And I would come out and cut those things down while I was out there. And then I would fly once it was full with, 500 volume. Doesn't take long. Then I would fly all the way back to Haga. And this was before I had the base this close. It was in the center of the map before. So my transit times were insane. I would. Oh my God, come on. That was creepy. But yeah, I would not advise. Yeah, you know what? If you have to do it, you have to do it. But if you can even build just a small base out in the deep desert, so much more efficient. And you don't need a carry-all to get a buggy out there. You can take it apart and bring it in pieces. So just a small base, even if it only has enough power to run the large ore and the chemical, that's all you need. That'll get you pretty far into the duraluminum phase. You'll have to start doing spice, but you know what? Most of the progress I made in that, honestly, was hitting all the spice blooms in Haga Basin. That's where I got most of mine. At least to get myself through, to get that T6 gear, to make the things like these that I'm having here. First thing you want to do is work towards getting a tier 6 ornithopter scout, and then the refineries, the spice refinery and the large spice refinery and the large chemical, or the large ores, so that you can make plastanium ingots. And the efficiency on that large, it scared me. The efficiency on the large spice refinery is huge. Once you do that, then you're cooking. I'm still looking, yeah. I'm still trying to see if that base is somewhere around. But it definitely is not. I think the maker has claimed it. Actually, it couldn't. They can't get back here. Oh my gosh, I just crossed it. Come on. So the reason we did this is because I got a whole bunch of spice sand in that crawler. We'll bring it back here to process it. Since I could build one out there, but I have to change the building and do all sorts of crazy stuff. It's just not worth it. I have one in Haga, so I can refine it just as fine there as I can here. But we're not planning on making this trip again. I'm coming out here, and we should be very close to being done with the last of the plastanium and the last of the water supplies. And at that point, we're just gonna start breaking stuff down, man. So that's why we dropped off the crawler, and we are now coming back empty with just our carryall, because that'll be carrying the big canister, the big container, as we leave, completely leave. Hmm. This is a good place too, by the way. Right here. Not right here. I should change that, because this is where people are spawning in. But in this area, like right over there, or right there, or over in here, where people aren't going to be spawning, that's a great place to practice your hookup and deploys of either a buggy or your own sand crawler, because there's no worms in here. And you don't have to worry about people jumping you or causing problems. Even in a PBE zone, somebody could land on your carrier and stick a thumper underneath it, and the worm would come and eat it. So there's still ways. Or they could just land on it and turn their Holtzman shield on, and that'll summon a worm, and they'll come and eat your stuff. But in here, the worms can't get in here. So there's absolutely no danger. Well, I shouldn't say that. You could fall through the map in a glitch. That's about the only problem you could possibly have. But like right here, great place to practice your pickup and drop offs. Because it's better to do it here where there's absolutely no danger than to do it out there where bad things could definitely occur. So. I think it'd be great as, the sand crawlers back in Haga, and then all of a sudden there's like 6 blooms right here. Typical Montreal. I don't know if that's going to fit. I don't know what's happening, but didn't like that, did it? Oh, we got all sorts of stuff hanging out, but that's okay. Shields are inactive. Why are the shields inactive? Most likely we had a sandstorm come through while we were gone, or while we were doing it. We can check and see the base requirements. We got 1700 power, 790, so it's totally fine. So yeah, I think we just got disabled with a sandstorm. Let's see what we can do here. 19. There we go. So we used all our water. We still got some titanium ore left, but not too much. It's not too much transit, and this should be done. But we did come out with plenty. We did add some from tearing up base pieces and all that stuff. But yeah, we got 2,500. How much longer do I have? I should have looked. 143, which means we've got another 47 minutes, 50 minutes. So not bad. This should be done. Yep, 92. Let's go ahead and we'll just drop that directly in there because we're not going to use it. And this can now be blown up because we got nothing to make for it. So we'll go ahead. Oop. Oh, look at that. We didn't even need to be this close. Boop, 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 boop. Let's move our fuel cells into a little bit better organization. There we go. All right, so that's where we stand, guys. I think the last bit of water we could probably stick in our canteen type thing, our liter, John. Do you have water? I got 1%. Fill container. We are zeroed out, ladies and gentlemen. So it is time to break down our water jugs. And we got one more tank up here. This is the fancy one that we make sure we don't want to lose. But yep, the rest of this is just going to be tearing things apart like we do every week. I'm really hoping that tomorrow when I wake up and look at the deep desert map before I head off to work, that I'll be super excited about how awesome it is that we're going to be able to go out and get more plastanium dust, because we are still very small. It's running out of power in 1 day, 3 hours, dude. It blow me. So yeah, I'm really hoping that does that, because that's what we're in need of right now. But we're going to be doing another deep desert week. So if that doesn't work out, we'll probably just do spice. You can never have enough spice. And yeah, we'll be back at it. So we're very close to the 2-hour mark. I've still got 15 minutes to wait, but I'm probably going to go get something to snack on and check on Buddy, see if he needs to go out or if Mrs. Rabbit took care of him. Still got Pickle back here sleeping, right? Pickle. Pickle. Yeah, hi. Pickle, you want to say hi to everybody? You don't? What? Yeah, say hi to everybody. Little adventurer. Meow meow. I don't know if you guys can hear him, but he's a good kitty. I don't know if you can actually see him or not. Can you see this? Not really. Yeah. Anyway. Well, thank you for tuning in, folks. Appreciate it. We got one more stream before the end of the year. We'll try to work in some New Year's celebrations and see what we can come up with. And again, fingers crossed that we get the testing stations we want so we can start getting ourselves a bunch of plastanium dust. I did that months ago and ran the heck out of those things, and I got a really good backlog, and it carried me forever. So my goal would be to do the same thing, get in there as much as I can to get as much resources stocked up so that everything's awesome and we're good for quite a while. So anyway, I will see you guys again on Wednesday, and thank you for stopping by. Like, subscribe, share. All those things help out the channel, and as always, I will see you out there. So take care.